It's good to see you again, and especially those in the Bible group. We just finished chapter 14, got into 15 of Acts. But looking at chapters 13 and 14, to simplify those chapters, we're just really beginning to see Paul and Peter and some of those other Barnabas, those different early disciples. They're taking the gospel to the Gentiles and moving away from being right there in modern day Israel. They're moving up into modern day Turkey and other places in those first journeys of Paul to Derbe and Antioch, these different cities. And so we're looking at them sharing the gospel with the Gentiles. And what's happening? Well, some of the Gentiles are believing. Some of the Jews are still believing. But the Jews that are not believing are beginning to persecute these disciples of Christ for sharing the gospel with the Gentiles. And it's really interesting, in some of those cities, the people that see what's happening and they begin to worship these men as gods. And they say, wait, we're not gods. We're men like you. So interesting to see what takes place. Paul was even stoned, but survived a stoning in one of those cities. So read in Acts, chapters 13 and 14. The story is continuing into 15 as the gospel is being spread. And the church struggles back home in Jerusalem. They want the Gentiles to live as Jews. And so it's interesting to see the early struggles of the church as it spread. But the gospel keeps spreading, and we're thankful that we have the book of Acts to read. So simplified, the gospel is spreading with great difficulty, but in amazing ways.